Welcome to Previously On, a podcast series created to help you through some of the most complex yet brilliant television ever made. Game of Thrones Season 4, Episode 1, Two Swords. This season begins with Tywin Lannister melting down ice, the Valyrian steel greatsword of House Stark, and reforging it as two new swords. He gives one to Jaime, who he dismisses as Lord Commander of the King's Guard so he can rule Casterly Rock in Tywin's place. When Jaime refuses to go, Tywin disowns him but allows Jaime to keep the sword. Outside King's Landing, Tyrion, his squire Podrick and Bronn wait the arrival of Prince Doran Martell of Dorne, which is the southernmost region of Westeros. The two families share a long-standing hatred of each other. Tyrion learns that Prince Doran's younger brother Oberyn, who is renowned for his fighting skills and infinite libido, has already arrived in Doran's absence. Oberyn takes his pick of the men and women at Littlefinger's brothel alongside his lover Ellaria Sand, who's a bastard. Tyrion arrives and Oberyn tells him he's seeking revenge for the death of his sister Elia and her two children during Robert's rebellion. During the invasion of King's Landing in the final days of the war, the children were killed by Lannister troops and Elia was raped and murdered by the Mountain. Oberyn believes Tywin authorised these murders and asks Tyrion to tell his father that the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts. In the Red Keep, Tyrion is visited by Shae, who tries to rekindle their relationship. When Tyrion rejects her advances, she is furious and accuses him of trying to ship her off to the Free Cities, but she's spotted by one of Sansa's handmaidens. Qyburn fits Jaime with a gold prosthetic hand to replace the one he lost. Cersei rejects his advances, demanding he apologises for leaving her alone whilst he was captured. In the north, Ygritte and Tormund await orders from Mance Rayder. Ygritte is still furious at Jon Snow for betraying her, remember he legged it last season, and Tormund says she deliberately allowed Jon to survive. They're joined by a group of Thenns, who are a cannibalistic wildling clan led by Styr. At Castle Black, Jon admits to Sir Alliser Thorne, Janos Slynt and Maester Aemon that he killed Corryn Halfhand, but tries to explain that it was part of Corryn's own plan to infiltrate the wildlings. He also confesses to breaking his vows by sleeping with Ygritte and tells the men everything he knows about the wildling invasion. While Thorne and Slynt want to execute Jon, Maester Aemon lets him go. Daenerys and her army are on the road to Meereen, which is another slaver city in Essos. She notices that her dragons aren't as obedient as they once were. Daario Naharis also advises her to learn the culture of Meereen if she wants to rule it. They discover a dead slave child tied to a post and learn that there is a body nailed to every milepost on the road to Meereen. Sir Barristan offers to send a party ahead to take the children down, but Daenerys insists she looks at every child as they pass. Back in King's Landing, Brienne reminds Jaime of the vow he made to return the Stark daughters to their mother. With Catelyn dead and Sansa being married to Tyrion, Jaime argues that things are now slightly more complicated. Traumatised by news of her mother and brother's death, Sansa visits the Godswood to be alone, where she encounters Dontos the Fool, the former knight whose life she saved. Dontos thanks her for saving him and gives her a crystal necklace that once belonged to his mother. In the Riverlands, the Hound tells Arya he is bringing her to Lysa Arryn. They reach an inn where some Lannister soldiers are resting, including Polliver, the guard who killed Arya's friend Lommy and stole Needle, her sword, from her. Polliver recognises the Hound and invites him to join them as they rape and pillage on the way back to King's Landing, but instead a fight breaks out. Arya stabs Polliver and reclaims Needle. Arya and the Hound then steal the men's horses and ride through the desolate countryside. Thanks for listening. Hope it's been helpful. Listen, if you've enjoyed this, I would love it if you subscribed. We've got loads more shows where this came from, and we'd love you to join us for them. If you know someone who needs to get up to speed with Thrones, just send them our way. A 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from would also be absolutely fantastic. If you've got any feedback, have I pronounced the name wrong? I hope I haven't. Or ideas for a show that we should be covering? We'll almost certainly be doing the big ones, but you never know, there may be others that we've missed. Let us know. I'd love to hear from you over on Twitter. You can find us at Previous Podcast, or just email us hello@previouslyon.co.uk. Previously On is presented by Jamie East and is a Daft Doris production.